Southern California has a new modern home for NFL football, and it is this place, wondrous SoFi Stadium here in Inglewood. Two clubs here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. And that's not going to be returned, as so many kicking teams elect to do. This is past the landing zone, and we'll start at the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. First carry here for Kenneth Walker III. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd and a yard. Back to throw here, Herbert. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
And every time you step on a field, coaches are always going to talk about how important tackling is in a ball game. In this one, especially so. You can't allow these guys to break free and get extra yards after contact, but that's exactly what happens here. That can't continue as this game goes on.
Here's Herbert. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Greg Newsome. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive.
Well, they certainly weren't afraid to let it fly early, and they hope that'll keep the defense honest and keep the offensive guys excited about getting back out there. They are in attack mode in this game. It did backfire a little bit. Now you're just hoping your defense can keep them off the scoreboard so you're not facing a deficit the next time you run out there.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. When you talk about the defense for these Chargers, they've been a very good unit against the pass, defending at 5th best in the league.
And, hey, they were stingy in the opener, didn't allow much of anything at all through the air. So now they come into week 2 saying, hey, let's see if we can do even better. Let's go ahead and get to that number 1 spot.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. They'll drop to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield. But as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a 1st down.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland 1st down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. An off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
Offense is moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they're in a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Second and 10. Hand off to Spears. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stop that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
What do they have for this? 3rd and 11. They'll look to throw. That's complete. It's Chris Godwin. And he'll only get this to the 47. He needed a few more yards to pick up the 1st. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. And their opening drive, that ended with the interception. Fortunate, though, it didn't lead to points.
It didn't lead to points, and because they kind of got away with one, maybe you come back and throw something similar again to show that you're not afraid, that you're not going to back down, and take your shot. Let the defense know that you're going to be there all game long.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Herbert. Over the middle and caught by McConkey. That'll give him 8 that time. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
And he is caught. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
Open man, right side. That's McConkey. So the completion good for just 3. And that'll bring up 2nd down. The Chargers had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that, because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine.
Ken Walker was his target out of the backfield. And it's 3rd down. You look at this Browns defense. They enter play ranked 8th against the run in the NFL.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to it. Herbert able to show his wheels as he gets the 1st.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the 1st down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 41. Herbert now. Throw out wide to Walker. Pushing. Walker hit and the ball is out. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Walker now on 1st and 10. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this 1st quarter. No score after 1 on EA Sports. So 1st and goal now from the 7-yard line. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Trying the left side with Walker. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Kenneth Walker, his second rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chargers post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this second quarter. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. Then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. And he'll get this to the 32.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. A yard in the wrong direction. Makes third down tougher. Third down and 9.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. Now this offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. Now they trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
But that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Second and 6. And that is taken in by Njoku. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. David Njoku, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Browns are an extra point away now from tying this ball game.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he'll be out of bounds at midfield. So a solid return to the 50.
Well, that return gives them a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Being chased out left. He's got a man. That's caught left sideline. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
They started this drive with terrific field position, and it's going to get even better after that play. Had great options with where they started, so they decided to press their advantage, and it paid off.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now it's Herbert. This one goes underneath to Walker, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Ken Walker, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Chargers have taken the lead. Extra point up and good by Dicker. And that makes the score 14-7. Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. More from L.A. in a moment. The Browns drive about to get started. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Tui got in and dropped it.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They're going to look to throw. That's for Bateman, and it's intercepted. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick 6.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In case of a defense, they want to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback. And we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Back to throw here. Well, that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Well, no one likes to see that drop, but I'll guarantee it's not going to stop his quarterback from going back to him anytime he has open space.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
3rd and 9 here. Looking to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Anthony Schwartz, 52 yards. And the Browns have cut it back within a score. Carlson on for the PAT. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity. This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
They'll try for the first with Walker. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. On is the Chargers punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this will be blown dead right around the 25-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He'll find Schwartz complete right side. Nothing at all on that one. It'll be 2nd down. They'll look to throw here. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. They need 18 yards here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. This is the tight end, Njoku. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
And that's well executed there on third down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
They'll look to throw here on first down. He's going to air one out. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And the Chargers will take over possession here up at the 44. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
Loose inside the 30. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10. A final shot before the break for Herbert. Touchdown! A great play there as time expires in the first half. And the Chargers will extend their lead here just before halftime. So after the disappointment in the opening week loss, Charles, this looks like really a completely different football team.
They sure do, and I think they realize we can't start 0-2. And they're determined to not let it happen by the looks of things here in the early going.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And the lead now up to 14. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns going to see the football first, but they trail here as we resume play on EA Sports. And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff. And the first drive of the second half will commence from the 30-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground.
And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33.
Sometimes your crosses get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 21 yards there on 3rd down.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Part of what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front, force him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
They'll look to throw. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes.
George Karlaftis
Able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. Here's Logan Cook now as he'll punt it away for the second time. "35 yards that time on the punt. And the Chargers will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Charger drive about to get going. Here's Herbert. To the left side, he's got McConkey. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
It is certainly becoming rarer by the year to see your franchise guy take a hit like that. The defender couldn't believe he had a shot to light him up. So when you take off and run, you have to make sure you can slide, get out of bounds, anything. Just don't leave yourself open to hits like that.
Now 2nd and 5.
From the shotgun, here's Herbert. That one complete to McConkey. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain there of 21 yards.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only 1st down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on 2nd down.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Back to throw here, Herbert.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 28. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another 1st.
A lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the 1st down.
Things looking much rosier for them here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10.
Here's Herbert.
That's taken in by Palmer.
And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. 23 yards on the play.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they can be set up with a 1st and goal.
Herbert now. He's got it. Touchdown, Chargers. A great effort there. A beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game.
And the Chargers will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And the lead now to 3 touchdowns in 21.
Now after the Dicker field goal, he's back out ready to send it away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30.
The Browns drive about to get started.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Second and 3. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And, he takes a shot at the end of that play. 3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the 4th. Back to throw now on first down. The ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I'll tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to be a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll drop the throw. That is caught. It's Chris Godwin. And they will finally catch him, but not before he gets it to the 11. A big play that time for Cleveland. 45 yards.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
They'll look to throw again.
Throw right side here, taken in by Bateman.
Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation,
fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out and picked up by the Chargers.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The Charger drive about to get going.
And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable fourth quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery.
So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Fighting through it, he's got space. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain there of 30 big ones.
And even with the game seemingly in hand, they're continuing to fire away, pressing the ball down the field. Listen, it's worked all day. No reason to go away from it now.
Now it's Herbert. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Keely Ringo picks it off. And the Browns are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Well, that interception at least offers them a glimmer of hope here in the fourth quarter.
It certainly does if their offense goes out now and makes it pay off by getting into the end zone. And if it does, then they get a chance to get back out on the field and try and do it again. Maybe they can force that offense into more and more mistakes and give them a chance to get back into this one totally.
We have still a 3-score hill to climb. We'll see if they can do it. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Kyler Gordon picks it off. And the Chargers are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
The Charger drive about to get going. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead. After the turnover, here's Herbert. Buying time to his left. Looking left sideline, it's complete. Room here to run. And they do finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 41. A big play there for L.A. 52 yards. So forget about being backed up. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way across midfield. A shotgun snap for Herbert. Eluding the pressure right. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. Now this one finds McConkey. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
Herbert off of play action. Steps away, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and the lead will hold at 3 touchdowns. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, you know, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
I think they want to start getting back into this game. It behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw here. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. George Karlaftis getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
Now he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try and throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Looking for Bateman. He's got him complete.
And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play.
So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here, 1st and 10. And he's going to have the hook up to Schwartz.
Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Second and a couple.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Back to throw again. Touchdown, Browns. David Njoku. Halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50.
And the Browns have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will be cut down to 14. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be taken in by the Chargers, and it appears they're going to win this football game. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
So it's a win here for the L.A. Chargers, and it was thanks to the fine play of their quarterback, CD, Justin Herbert.
Yeah, I thought this defense just didn't have an answer for him all game long. They tried to change things up, but he was always one step ahead. And he finished with over 300 yards passing and 2 touchdown passes as well.
So for the Chargers, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Southern California, so long, everybody.